long, long way. University for me. Yes. UNA. Yeah. Halo. Yes. Halo. Welcome. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri. Welcome. UNA. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome. I'm just trying to get logged in here. I got this. I'm trying to get into my TikTok account, and it's giving me all kind of fits trying to get in here. So let's see if I can get in here. Welcome everybody. Hello TikTok. Hello YouTube. Hello. Okay. Now it's asking me for some other extraness. Let's see if I can get in. Welcome everybody. I'm just trying to make sure I can communicate with everybody. Oh, I'm in. All right. Don't make noise. Not right now. Not right now. All right, let me see if I can get into see what we got going on. Let me see. See, that's not working. Let me go here. We're going to get into it today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri, representing with UNARepublic and UNA University as I attempt to get into my, well, that's not working. Okay. Account. Hold on for 1 second. I was trying to get into it before we got here, but you know, stuff happens. So I want to welcome everybody. Let me see. Oh, there we go. We are rolling. I can see my people on TikTok and YouTube. 1 second. All right. Let's get into this wonderful products and services that we want to tell you about. For those of y'all who have wanted to get the trust package. All right. We're going to talk about that right now. Now, before I go into this, hello, J. Cruz. Welcome. Welcome all my people on TikTok. Welcome all of my people on YouTube. Welcome. So glad to have you here. Okay, so what I want to first say for my, I got some people in from my Clark fans, my WNBA fan side. Welcome, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, we're getting into some law. The session tonight is, the universe says you have to pay for everything. Everything. You got to pay for everything. So we're going to get into this in conversation about the 1099s, what the 1099s are, what they're for. As a matter of fact, we're not going to get into the details of it because I need you in class in order to do that. And I'm going to tell you why as well, why I need you in class. But we're going to go into what the laws are on the universal side, how we look at bills as an investment as opposed to, oh, we lost money, I'm just spending money, I'm paying out money. We're going to change our mindset tonight. All right. That's the purpose of this session, is to help you change your mindset so that you can look at things differently. And once you start seeing things from a different eye, your whole world will change. Okay, so we're going into this. The universe says you have to pay for everything, and I'm going to tell you why tonight. So if you have questions about whether it be universal law, whether it be these laws out here in this system, I need you to put those comments in the comment section. Put your questions in the comment section, all right, so that we can get to them before we get out of here. Okay, so I want to get into this because we've got the trust package. All right, for those of y'all who have been wanting to get a trust package, all right, let's talk about what it is. Your membership trust package, it comes with your certified documents, your trust documents. It comes with a membership badge. Okay, very powerful. These are very powerful tools. It comes with your allodial ID. Okay, I think I'm freezing up on my TikTok and YouTube. I'm just trying to make sure I'm good. Comes with your allodial ID. On the back here, there's a QR code so that you can always access your documents, your certified documents. We're going to put them on record for you. And most importantly, these things come with an education. All right. So I'm just, give me 1 second, because I think I'm freezing. You know, let me tell y'all something. Somebody, I don't know what the deal is, this block going on with the information. Okay, it says I'm not freezing. All right, we're not freezing. So the membership trust package, you can find the link in the bio so that you can get access to the membership trust package. Also, for my people who've gotten the beginner law book, the UNA beginner law book, all right, we do have these in stock, the UNA beginner law book. Once again, you can get these at UNAuniversity.com. UNAuniversity.com. Go in there and get this law book. It's going to come with your societal totem pole chart. This is a powerful chart to understand the cycle we're in, and also the societal totem pole. It's huge. All right. It also comes with the universal laws, comes with the vibratory frequency chart, comes with the hierarchy of laws, and the maxims. The maxims of law are in the book. All right. And I tell you, as I've told people before, when I'm going into court, I'm standing on these laws right here. These are God's laws right here. So you got to have this book. This is a very powerful book to have. We want you to put these leaflets up on your wall, on your mirror, on your refrigerator, so that you can have them in front of you. You got to review these daily. So UNA beginner law book, get this on UNAuniversity.com. Also, our membership packages, okay? Membership packages. Remember, we've got the Awaken package, $10. We want to communicate with you. Now, what we do is, for our students and our members, we send out a message. This is where we're making sure we're in alignment with source, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. But these are very helpful towards making sure we stay on the right path and we have a great day. So we're sending this out to our students who get our Awaken package. This is a $10 a month package. All right. This also gets you consultations at a reduced rate, discounted rate. So you want to be a part of that Awakened. This is the Transcendent package. This is a $30 a month package. What's so wonderful about this? You get 2 of those messages a week, and we're going to tailor it to you. I'm going to put your name on. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you and make sure that I send you these messages twice a week. Also, it's going to give you access to one of our sessions that we do in our private classes, okay? So that you can get an understanding. This is for our students who are looking to move into the weekly classes, all right? So if you're not ready, you're just not quite ready to go into the school yet, get this class, get this membership. And this is going to move you into it. This is only $30 a month. It's going to give you access to one of our private sessions that we can't spill out all the beans on the live sessions. Okay, this is going to give you access to that, and you can start moving closer to moving into the class. Also, this is going to get you discounted consultation rates, okay? Our Luminosity membership, all right, Luminosity membership. I want you to find the link in the bio. Malno, welcome. Malno, welcome. Terrell, welcome. I want you all, once again, I'm going into some law tonight. Leave your information in, or your questions in the comment section, all right? I don't know why I draw a blank on comment section, but this is the Luminosity package, okay? We're going to have 2 weeks or 2 sessions per week where we're mailing you and making sure that, you know, we on course with making sure we do our affirmations daily and all of that. That's what those sessions are. We're doing that twice a week for you. Also, we have access to the law library. You're going to have access to the UNA University video archive. You're going to have communication access to UNA staff. You're going to get discounted consultations. You're going to have the ability to participate in our special programs. That's our mortgage elimination, tax prep, filing, our car tag trust, credit repair, and different programs that we offer throughout the season. Also, we give legal assistance when you are a Luminosity member. Let me be clear on this. We give legal information to you when you have a consultation, but we're not going to give you assistance unless you are a student. And I'm going into that in a few moments about why that is. All right, we are in autumn 2024 season. We're halfway through it. If you're interested in joining us for winter 2025 rather, for winter 2025, be ready so that you can enroll. That's going to start January the 15th. Right now, we are not accepting students for this season because we're halfway through it and my students are on it and we rolling. All right, so now with that being said, I want to welcome everybody once again. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, we're getting into this. The universe says, I almost said Simon says, but the universe says you must pay for everything. Everything. Now, this subject comes about because I have a lot of students that will want to join the university, or they're coming to the university and I want to do this process and this process and this process. And they've got 10 different processes they're trying to do at one time. And they're trying to use a process to pay for everything. Here's the deal that I need to make you all aware of. First of all, the reasons why we're in the situation that we're in, and to help you to understand that there is another currency, not just Federal Reserve notes, but there are other currencies. There is the ultimate currency that I call universal currency. And I need you all to start tapping into that, because at this point, people are addicted to what we call Federal Reserve notes. Y'all think it's money. And I need us to have an understanding of the higher energy, because when you're addicted to that, then you really are not tapping into the full powers that the universe will grant you. Okay, we're gonna get into it. I need you, listen. Most of y'all know that in this session or these sessions, you need to be open. You need to open your mind. You need to be willing to hear. Do not knee jerk in this room. Don't knee jerk. You're going to hear things that you've never heard before. You need to be willing to listen so that you can grow. Okay. So I want to get into this. A lot of us have come into the knowledge that there is an estate associated with your Social Security number. For those of y'all who are not aware, this is why when you go to school or you register for school or you're doing, going to get your driver's license or whatever it is that you're doing, you're always giving your Social Security number. And this is because your Social Security number is actually an estate. All right. And with that estate, the deal is that I'm looking at my screen and trying to see what is going on. I look like I'm freezing. Am I freezing? Can anybody hear me? I hope this thing is at least picking me up. Can anybody hear me? I'm gonna wait. All right, I'll talk to myself. All two people who might be listening. I'm gonna hold on. I'm just trying to see if we're good. Okay. Charles said we're good. All right, I got two people in the room. I'd like to thank all two of you for joining me tonight as I go through this, because we're going to get into some law. And if you have questions, please put your questions in the comment section so that I can get to them before I get out of here. All right, so getting back to this, we have come to understand that there is an estate associated with the Social Security number. This is why all of these so-called governmental agencies want your Social Security number anytime you're getting something. If you're applying for something, if you're getting any kind of driver's license, you're enrolling your children in school, they want a Social Security number. All right. So the deal is that, we haven't been told that this is actually an account. They've just told us it's a number. And so we get a lot of people who come into the class and they go, Diva, we want to pay off the house note, the car note. We want to pay off all the taxes, and we want the credit cards. We don't want to pay it. Okay. So you're asking now, you got to recognize what you're asking for. Okay. Now what you're asking for is, we want these things paid off because we feel like we're supposed to have them paid off. I get it. But I need you to understand we need to go back in history, because I also get people who they will be angry. They're coming bad. And these people doing me like this and they doing me like that. And this is terrible. Why they doing that? I can't believe they did that. I've been with them. I got to tell this story. I got to tell this story. I had and I told her I was going to tell the story. So you don't know who she is, but somebody was coming to me and they had tried this process. This is why I need you to be under trust, first of all, before you try processes. And I need you to understand what you're doing. So she's watching somebody else and they're telling her to do an A for V, or they're telling her to create some kind of money order and send it in to the bank. Well, she sends it into the bank and the bank shuts down her account. And she said, I've been with them for so many years. I can't believe they did me like that. Well, you didn't understand what you just did. This is what I mean when I say people try to do these processes and you quick trying to pay this off and you're trying to do this and you're not understanding what you're doing. So what has happened is when she did this process, she did a private process in the public. You'll hear people say public and private do not mix. If you're not understanding this, I'm talking over your head. I need you to be willing to study. All right. I need you to be willing to study. But public and private don't mix. You'll hear that often. So there's a private side, which is really you're dealing with the state, which is really a foreign entity. I'm not going into it because it's too detailed. I just want to make sure you're understanding what I'm saying. But when you do that process, you're dealing with the public side. Actually, it's a private process, but you're trying to do it on the public side. So when you do this private process, they're going to shut the public side down. So let's say you have a bank account and your bank account is open. There's a public and private side to that bank account. You don't know nothing about the private side. You just know about the public side because that's all you can see. But what happens is when you do this private process, they're going to shut down your access on the public side. So you got to know how to access the private side, because once you open an account, like a bank account in this example, it cannot be closed unless you close it. That thing gonna stay open until you say close. Now the public side, you're not gonna have access to it because that's the state's thing. But the private side, that's federal. And you gotta know how to access the private side. And if you don't know how to access the private side, you shouldn't be doing the process in the first place because you don't know what you're doing. This is why I need you in class, and I need you to make sure you're not just doing stuff willy-nilly because you just desperate. I need to get into this now. Okay. Desperate. A lot of us do things and we're not in our right mind. All right. All this gonna come back together. Just stay tuned and pay attention. Pay attention. One of the other issues is that when people are coming into the university, they're desperate. They're in a desperate state. Well, my car about to get repoed and they about to take the house. And all of that, we know how to stop all of that. We do. But at the same time, let's recognize that when you're in that type of situation, there's a spiritual issue going on. Everything is spiritual. And if you don't get that, you're not even ready to grow. So I said this, people come into the university and they're down here. They're operating in this lower vibratory frequency. This is a vibratory frequency chart. This is what comes with the UNA law book, the beginner law book. But if you're operating down here in pride and anger, despair and fear, grief, shame and guilt, you are not operating in your right mind. So then you're going to do things that are going to cause your demise and you're not even going to recognize it. It's going to put you in a worse place because you're operating down here. We got to get our students to operate up here. Now, there are some things that we can do when we're talking about a mortgage issue and even vehicles, where we can get a stop to all of that. But you're not going to come into the university and then we're applying a process for everything. If you got more than 2 processes going on at the same time, you got to get your spiritual side right. Listen, just pay attention because I get it. I know this is going to go over a lot of people's head. Just pay attention. Pay attention because you're going to need to know this, especially if you're trying to tap into the Social Security account and all that. If that's in your mind, if you're talking to me about a 1099 and you don't know law, you're not under trust, you're not ready. That's another process you're not ready for until you're ready to learn. Listen, I'm going into this vibratory frequency chart and I hope y'all are listening because this is why a lot of people get scammed. This is why a lot of people get taken because they're operating down here. You desperate. You don't want to learn. You just want to do a process. I found out I could tap into the TDA Diva, and I want the Social Security number, and I want to write an A for V, and I'm going to put that 1099 CABC. You operating down here. And you're not recognizing that what you're trying to do is to tap into something that's not for you yet. Y'all know the saying, what God has for you, it's for you. And then what's not for you, you're not going to get. This is why I need you to get your spiritual side, because people think all of this paperwork is what just going to pay for everything. Let me say this again. This is why people get scammed. Because listen, I got somebody out there who's using my work. He was a student using my work, and he's just scamming people. Oh yeah, we can do this and we can help you do this. And then he's not doing the work. And then when people try these processes, it doesn't work for them. They want to blame the process, but that's not the problem. The problem is spiritually, they are not deserving of what they're asking the universe for. They think they're asking man, but man can't give you nothing. Man can't give you nothing. It's the universe that's providing all of that for you. So you can do all the paperwork in the world that you want to do. If it's not for you, you're not going to get it. But the minute you get in tune spiritually, everything that you desire will show up and you don't have to fight for it. So I need you to listen and pay attention to what I'm saying tonight. People think the money is in the paperwork. It's not. And if you're not understanding that, well, then you get ready to get scammed. If you're not understanding that, you're going to have all kind of processes. You're going to stay in court. You're going to stay fighting, and you won't see a penny. It's all in the spiritual essence. And that's the problem. So you hear a lot of people out there say, people out here scamming you. They scam because that's why we have a university. It's not going to come overnight. The way some of these people are, you can get some success now. And let me rephrase that, because if you've done the spiritual work, it can very well come overnight for you. But if you haven't done it, and somebody's telling you, yeah, we're going to help you do the paperwork, just give us $12,000, and you're going to get scammed. You're going to, because you haven't put in the work. Let me go into this, what I'm talking about now that I've prefaced that. I hope y'all paying attention, because I'm letting you know there is remedy. There is remedy. But the remedy is not with man. It's not with paperwork. The paperwork is a formality. It's something you can do to help you get to that point. But if you don't have the spiritual side intact, you're going to go out and do this process, and then you're going to swear, oh, it don't work. It's all a scam. Okay. My people know it's not a scam. My people know. And so one of the reasons why, as I was saying earlier, we only deal with our students when it comes to processes, because if you're not on a certain level when you're doing these processes and your energy is not in alignment, then you're not going to get the success. And then the only thing you're going to be doing is trying to blame us, when the problem really is you, because nobody can stop your gift, or as y'all say, blessings. Nobody can stop that. If it's supposed to come to you, then you're going to get it. So I need to go into a little bit of history right now, because I've said this before. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat this so we understand who we are as beings. Okay, we are spiritual beings, ethereal beings. We've been here before. We always were, always will be. All right? And in knowing that, you got to know this. Because I need it to be clear, this is not your first time here. A lot of people don't get that. They just think, well, I just popped up here. I don't have nothing to do with what happened in the past. And then sometimes you'll hear people saying, oh, well, our ancestors did this. You are your ancestors. That's where I'm leading to. Before we get into a process and you want to write this process or what have you and do an A for B and a 1099, I need you to know who you are as an ethereal being. Always were, always will be. And so in understanding that, you are your ancestors. So why am I talking about your ancestors? Because I need you to know, all you people, especially you melanated people who are original people of the land, some of y'all coming from Moors, I need you to understand that as melanated people, it used to belong to you. Everything was yours. You weren't in this position. They want to tell you you came in here as a slave when that's not the true history. They want to tell you some forefathers and they show you these light-skinned people. That's not the true history. Your so-called forefathers were Moors, melanated folks. That constitution, it was not based on Islam, but the people who did write it, it was based on the Iroquois Confederacy, which came from another group of brown people, which were the original people of the land. I hope y'all paying attention because I'm giving you some history so that you can understand how we got here. You had everything, ownership of everything. You weren't in a position where you needed some welfare or some food stamps or some government cheese. That's not where we come from. But that's the lie we're being told. You had everything, but you lost it. Your ancestors. Why? What happened? You need to pay attention to that, and then you're going to understand why this whole game is spiritual. All right. So what happens is your ancestors were involved in bringing in another group of people, so-called, I call them Albions. Y'all call them white. They're not white. But who brought those people here? Moors. And then the original people played a role in enslaving them too. Y'all got to know history so that you're not acting like some kind of victim. You can't win if you're acting like a victim. Victims don't win. So let's understand this. You have this situation where you have Moors bringing Albion, so-called white people in here, and they were slaves, not no indentured servants. That's what they want. Oh, they was indentured. No, they was full-fledged slaves, and they were bringing them in as children. Children kidnapped from places like Sicily and Ireland. Y'all didn't read about this? Read white cargo. Look up white slaves in America. And then you're going to understand the truth. But the narrative is that, oh, you were a slave coming in here. Okay. But see, you're not the only one who's on welfare. And it's not just melanated people on welfare. It's Albions too. But I need this to be made clear that at one point, you didn't have to ask for things, or you didn't have somebody over your estate. And so by doing these deeds, you have to repay the energies that you put out. Where is my, here we go. Universal law chart. Universal laws deal with energies. All energies that you put out must come back. That's the law. All right. And so when you put these energies out as your ancestors, they have to be repaid. So I know y'all talking, we got to get some reparations. But are we not recognizing that we are repaying the deeds that our ancestors, we put out in the past? I need this to be made clear, because a lot of people, once you come into understanding of what the true history is, and you're willing to accept and respect the fact that our ancestors did some dirt, then you're going to see us rising. You're going to see us rising. And a lot of people, unfortunately, we get some people out here who want to be boastful about, oh yeah, we enslaved them. That ain't nothing to be bragging about. We're paying reparations right now. I need that to be made clear. And so I'm pulling them out today. Where's my cyclical cycle? All right, here's my cycle chart. I want y'all to pay attention to this, because what goes around comes around. That's a universal principle. All right. So those who do dirt, they gonna get some dirt coming back to them. And at some point, melanated people, you're gonna see a return of the riches or the wealth. You're gonna see a return. And my thing that I speak to people about is, do you want to be back in this position where we are? My thing is, look, we did dirt to the Albion, and then now the Albion, it was their turn to do dirt back. Well, the top is coming back around for you melanated folks and women, because you women need to know who you were too. And the fact that all the land was in the name of the women. These are facts. A lot of people get upset. No, the women didn't own it. Iroquois Confederacy that I mentioned earlier. There's all kind of etymological evidence. There's archaeological evidence, legal evidence, biblical evidence that's showing it's the woman. Even when we're talking about molecular and scientific evidence, the woman owned everything. She had the knowledge, the wealth, the riches. And why is she in this place where she went into slavery? Y'all don't even know y'all was in slavery. It's called marriage. You became his property. That's why you're taking on his last name. Well, you get ready to get your powers back. You get ready to get your wealth back. But the question is, do you want to be back in this place? Well, no, we don't. That's why we want to make sure our spiritual essence is in order. I hope y'all getting what I'm saying, because I'm ready to move on to the next topic. Spiritual essence needs to be in order if you're talking about getting these things that you're desiring. You're thinking it's coming from man because I'm going to sign this and this and this. Man can't give you nothing. If it's meant for you, then you're going to get it. But if it's not, he can try to give it to you. It's going to be taken away from you. Have you ever given somebody a gift who really wasn't deserving of that gift? Like I had this woman, she was telling me about her husband, and he was hooked on whatever he was hooked on. But she was like, I really just tried so hard with him, and I gave him, I gave him a car, and he wrecked it. It was a brand new car. He wrecked it 2 days later. That way he wasn't supposed to have a car. That's an example. If you've ever given your children something and they tear it up or they lose it, they weren't supposed to have it because they weren't really worthy of it. And so again, you can try to give somebody something as a gift. If they're not supposed to have it, they're not going to be able to keep it, period. And the same token, if something is for you, nobody can keep it away from you, period. Okay, so let me get on this, because we have people who, again, we found out that there's this estate. And we want to tap into this estate. And you have all these people who have knowledge of the law and what have you. And I had one friend who was able to, she used her social security number, or she did an A for V or whatever she did. And she showed me the proof. Oh yeah, this paid off my light bill. But then they reversed it. And then I had another one. She got a house paid for, the light bill, water bill, all paid for. Didn't have to pay for anything because she did a process. But for whatever reason, she couldn't keep the house. for whatever reason, she couldn't keep the house. And both of these people who know law and they know how to tap in and they studied this TDA and all this, they stay broke. They stay broke. They're not putting anything into the universe to receive what they're asking for. They stay broke. I need y'all to understand something. Why I keep telling you, man can't give you anything. One second. We're having issues over here with YouTube. Hold on. All right, so let me see if we can get back up on YouTube because we're having a little bit of difficulties on YouTube. TikTok, what up? Let me see. I see some questions. Why I don't do it now? True facts. What did you say, Charles? I want to welcome Charles and Infinite and Graft and Indigo. Thank y'all for joining. All right, so I'm ready to get into this thing. I'm just trying to see what we got going on over here on this other platform. And I'm going to continue. Can you guys hear me okay? If you can, say yes, I can hear you. What's going on my... The last shall be first. All right. The last shall be first asked me if I think women will rise again. Women are rising again. Women are rising again. And to my sisters, as you're getting your power back, we want to make sure that we stay righteous, because we actually, the reason why we went into that situation where women were enslaved was for the simple fact that women did dirt to men. Women were brutal. Like the Amazon women, those were your natural women. All right, your Amazon women, Khalifa tribe, those were larger women. And so yeah, you're getting your powers back. But make sure that we always are righteous in whatever power that we wield. We don't ever want to be disrespectful or hurtful to another being, like melanated people were enslaving the Albion. You don't want to do that again. This is why we are here. Now you're coming back around to getting your power, getting your wealth, getting the return of your knowledge. Great. Make sure that we are very good stewards. With our funds. All right, so I'm just trying to see what we've got going on here, and then let's get back into it. Okay, all right, so let me get back into this. You see what's going on. And let me go back into this, just understand, making it clear that there's a situation where, again, there's this cycle coming back around. And at some point, women will become, okay, we're going to have to fix it. Come on now. This is breaking my whole energies. What's going on? You're breaking my concentration. You're breaking the concentration. Come on, let's go. hold on. Let me see what's going on here, because yeah, I know. Okay. Let me continue. My people in YouTube, we're trying to get the issues worked out. And my people on TikTok, thank you so much for your patience. Okay. Let me just start from here, because you know he's breaking my concentration over here. But here's the deal. All right. As spiritual entities, what we have to recognize is that everything that we do deals with what we put out, the energies we put out. And that is very important for us to recognize, so that we are coming out of the victim state. If you're coming in, for example, to the university, and your whole idea is, we're going to get them, I want everything back, we're going to get it back, and wanting to fight, that's the wrong energy. You're not operating in your right mind. Those type of people, they do not win. They don't. As I just told you about the two examples of one woman, yeah, she did some things where she was able to get her, do an A for V or whatever she did, a money order, and she was able to get her bill, her light bill paid, but then they reversed it. And then you had this other woman over here. She had a house. Again, the house was paid for in full, water bill, light bill paid for, but she couldn't keep the house. It wasn't for her because she didn't put the energy out. And as I told you, these two people that I know, they stay broke. Oh yeah, you got the house paid for, but then, oh, but you know, I need some food stamps, and then I can't pay for the gas, and then because you're not putting anything out. And that's the issue. All right, so I need to get on understanding how the universe works. The law of compensation, which is a universal principle. One of my favorites, law of compensation. If you get the universal law chart, it's number 6. And what it deals with is when you put out an energy, it comes back in multiples. So the universe is not just going to, you know, if you put out a seed or plant a seed, because really, let's understand, a seed is an energy. It's a contract. A dollar is a contract. It's a seed. It's an energy. So if I put out $1, by law, the universe is going to bring those back to me in multiples. And the same way you plant a seed, when you plant that seed, as long as you putting that seed in good soil, doesn't have fungus in it, doesn't have mildew and other issues going on with the soil, and you nurture it, then the seed is going to grow. It's the same thing with the money. If you put your money out there and you put it out with love, gratitude, happiness, kindness, the universe has to send it back. And it doesn't matter what you're doing it for. It doesn't matter if it's for your light bill, your water bill. It doesn't matter if it's for your mortgage or your car note. As long as you put it out with love and gratitude, by law, the universe has to send it back to you. This is the money you want right here. Universal currency. So I need to talk about universal currency and how this works. All right. Need to talk about universal currency and how it works. Now, the way the universe works is, once again, whatever energy you put out must come back. So if you're wanting, for example, money, or you're wanting love or a house or what have you, when you put it out, by law, the universe has to send it back to you. These are the laws that we should have been taught when we were a child. If somebody was serious about making sure we're thriving in this life, if they were serious about that, they would have taught you the universal laws, which is what I'm telling you. All right. So when you go out and let's say you pay your car note is $600. When you pay that $600 and you're doing it with love, and I'm, universe, God, whoever you pray to Most High, I am so grateful that you have allowed me to be able to pay this car note. And I love this car. It helps me to get my children from A to B. It helps me to get to work, and I can, make money so I can do whatever. I'm grateful. So I'm grateful to be able to pay this $600 for this car note. Well, when you put it out like that, by law, the universe has to give it back to you. I need you to pay attention to what I'm saying. Now I'm just telling you about universal law. And the way the universe works, most of us know, some of y'all Bible thumpers know, some of y'all Bible thumpers don't even read the Bible, but tenfold, if you're putting it out with the right energy, it can be tenfold and then some. Because here's hierarchy of laws. This right here, natural laws is up here right under universal law. Natural law says that we live in abundance. We live in abundance, but somebody has taught us to be scarce and we got to hoard everything. We might not get more, so stock up. We live in abundance. And when you know that you live in abundance, then you don't worry about where your funds are going to come from, because the universe has been doing it for you the whole time. The universe has been doing it for you. You've been asking for things and you didn't know how you were going to get it. Then all of a sudden it just shows up. And you think it's, I got lucky. No, the universe has been doing it for you because you've been putting out. When you put out, if you want it, you must give it away. If you want it, you must give it away. Then you're building up your, what I call universal currency. You must build up your universal currency. What does that mean? Some people, for example, they tend to put out a lot of negative energy, whereby they're saying negative things here, speaking negative about this over here, negative. And then they want to run to the universe and ask for something and haven't recognized that they haven't put anything in. The universe is also a bank. Some of y'all have heard of Akashic Records. Thank you, Indigo. If you heard of Akashic Records, put it in the comment section. The last shall be first. If you're still there, put a message in there because I want to answer your question. If you've heard of Akashic Records, just type Akashic Records in the comment section. That is a bank. And what it is holding all of your spiritual energies or spiritual baggage, even from other lifetimes. That is a spiritual bank, and we all have one. So the universe is holding on to your energies. So it's just like if you go to the bank and you put in $100 and it's not feasible for you to go to the bank and be like, well, you know what, let me get $5,000 back. Well, you didn't put in but 100. Then you talking about you want 5,000. You didn't put in anything to be deserving of that what you're asking for. It's the same thing with universal currency. It's the same thing. If you're wanting love, then you got to put out love. If you're wanting money, put some money out. Put it out with love. And it has to come back. It is just a law. It's not Diva Lyri making it up. It's not sometimes if you black and then sometimes if you white. But if you got curly hair and if you this tall, then it'll come. That's not how it works. The universe does not care about any of that. Put it out with love. And by law, it's got to come back. That's the law. Universal currency. We got to get to that point first, because right now, the people in the society, they're hooked on this thing called Federal Reserve notes. Thank you, Dante. Demetrius, I'm going to learn how to read one day. Lexi says, how do we get access to Akashic records? By being in tune with self. Because, you'll be able to see other people's Akashic records by what's going on in their third dimension. You got to understand your people, everybody, yours, mine, everybody's third dimension is reflecting what their Akashic records are. It's reflecting what's going on with them. Everything in their dimension is reflecting what happened to them in the past. You get, Indigo says you can read. You get access when you have knowledge of self and knowledge of these laws. You'll be able to see everything. You'll be able to see stuff you don't want to see. I can look at, especially women, and I can tell what went on in their relationship by looking at certain things. When you're telling me about what's going on at your job, at your house, in public, I know who you are. That's how you get access, by knowing law. All right. So thank you, Fabrice, for joining. The last shall be first. Are you still there? Let me know. All right. So now, let me get back on this because I do want to go into some law concerning the estates. And for those of y'all who are trying to tap in, I'm going to give you some clues on that and some understanding on what needs to be done. I can't go into detail on it because you got to be in class. I really go over these things with my students because I know they're going to use the information well and they're going to do the process properly. Okay, so we're understanding Akashic records. We're understanding that there is a universal bank. And if you are looking to tap into it, then you need to put something into it. So what I'm saying is, I've said this earlier, that man can't give you anything. Everything you're getting is coming from the universe. It seems like it's coming from man, whether it be somebody give you some Federal Reserve notes or what have you, but that person can only give those Federal Reserve notes to you if you're deserving. Just like I can't, I've helped people deal with their mortgage situation, get the mortgage companies off of their back. I've helped, people dealing with their children, get their children back or what have you. But there are things that they have to do on their end. I'm just a conduit. There are things that spiritually and mentally you have to do in order to receive those gifts. If you're not supposed to have it, even if I help you get it, the universe is going to take it back from you. All right? The universe is going to take it back. So if you're asking a question, I need you to ask a complete question so that I understand what the full question is. Okay? Now, one of the reasons why I speak about having your Akashic records in order, or that you've given on a spiritual level, is because I've had several situations where, we'll do a process and people, again, every time, if I see you got, especially like 2 and 3 court cases, you got a spiritual issue that you need to clear up. There's some spiritual baggage there that you got to clean up. Because if you're doing fighting like that, that means that there's a problem where you're not balanced. There should not be a whole bunch of processes that you're doing. So I can give you, as a matter of fact, I do want to give you some examples. All right, as we talked about the spiritual mess that we're in, and we're coming out of it, some of us, because we're learning that we're not victims. We're learning that we're gods. We put out an energy. And so now we've got to clean up that baggage by cleaning up our spiritual essence. And as you do that, the money's coming to you. The wealth is coming to you. The knowledge is going to come to you. The assets that you're looking for, they're going to come to you. And you're not going to have to fight anybody. Spiritual, that comes first, because once again, man can't give you anything. Everything comes from the universe, everything. All right. I want to talk about this because I just mentioned how I don't care to, if you're not in the school and you're not getting yourself cleaned up mentally, I'm not going through these processes with you, because the only thing is going to happen is your process is not going to work. You're going to blame it on the process. It's not the process, it's you. I have, people who want to, for example, I had somebody come to me and get it because he had a DUI. And he wanted me to help him get off. Now, my thing is, if I deal with you, I need to deal with you on a spiritual level first. Because if I help you get off on this DUI, all right, and you go and do harm to somebody else, you drinking, you still doing stupid things, and you go and get behind the wheel and you actually kill somebody, that's on me. This is why there's certain cases I don't touch. And I know that regardless of the case, it's all spiritual. Even when we're dealing with an IRS tax case, when we're dealing with a mortgage case, any kind of case, anything, it's all spiritual. But here this person is with a DUI. My whole thing is, do you know who you are? And do you understand the responsibility when you get behind the wheel and how you don't need to be drinking? Are you really there? The other thing that they have to be able to do is they need to be able to stand. I had this one guy, and we're dealing with his issues, and I'm like, listen, if I'm helping you with this case, I need to make sure you're not going to do this stupid thing again. The other thing is, I need to see you stand. You got to go into court. Can you stand? I said, this is the only thing you need to say when you walk into court. I need you to say, I'm the authorized representative. And this instrument here is to take care of this case. I said, this is what I need you to say. Say this and only this. And I need you to stand. You have to be willing to stand. Well, he wasn't willing to stand because he went into court. He said, I'm the authorized representative. Then they jingled some handcuffs at him. And he, I'm the person, I'm the name. They just threatened him. And he gave in. You're not worthy. And for me at that point, it's like, listen, I gave you an out. You chose, but I thought they was going to lock me up. And then I said to him, what did they do as soon as you said you were the person? Because see, what happens is, those of y'all who know that a court can only deal with that all fictitious capital letter name. That's all they can deal with. They can't deal with you, the spirit. You, the spiritual entity, they can't deal with when you know who you are, when you have, when you're under trust. They can't deal with you. But here's again, this was a while back when I was dealing with clients, and I don't deal with clients anymore. If you're not a student, I'm not giving you any kind of legal assistance, period, because you got to know how to stand. Because all he needed to do was say, I'm the authorized representative. But as soon as they scared the life out of him, why were they able to scare him? Because he doesn't know who he is truly. He didn't know who he is. And so here again, you get people who are coming in, I want to tap into the TDA and write an A for P. Okay. We tap into the TDA, we're going to get you $60,000. Okay, then what? Now, what happened when the IRS come knocking at your door? Or criminal investigation division come knocking at your door? What you going to do? Do you know who you are? Because if you don't, you're going to end up in prison. And then you want to blame everybody else. But the problem is, you don't know who you are. Not on a spiritual level, not on a legal level. That's why you need to be in the school. This is not just about, I'm going to write this document, I'm going to get some money back. And do you know? Yeah, these people are going to come after you. Yes. Well, not all the time, but the IRS definitely will. They've done it to my students. And I have to tell them what to say. I was like, you need to stand, and this is what we're going to do. And I tell them ABC, and they do ABC, and the next thing you know, they're getting a check for 1, 2, 3. Because they know how to stand. So it's not just as simple as, okay, I'm just going to do this paperwork and then I'm going to take care that. First of all, get the spiritual side in order first. And then everything else will fall into place. Now, I get people asking about the 1099s. So let me talk briefly about what they are. And you know, when you get into the school, or if you get into the school, if you go deal with somebody else, that's fine. But you need to understand what those documents are. And let me talk about a 1040 first of all, and understanding what you're doing when you're dealing with the IRS on that. So what most of us have been taught is that we're going to file this 1040 for taxes. And then we're going to tell them, you know, we made this much money. And of course, your job, if you work for a job that's under incorporated under the United States Corporation, then they're going to tell you that, oh, well, yeah, you, we gotta send this up to the IRS because they're going to be reporting. They're agents for the state. All right. And the state is not even a true governmental entity, but they're going to report everything that they pay you to the state. Meanwhile, you've given them a social security number. And let's be clear. Let's say you make $60,000 a year. You make $60,000 a year and you've given them your social security number. Well, there's at least, there's probably $120,000 being made that you don't know about behind the scenes. But let's just pretend like it's just 60,000, right? So somebody somewhere is getting $60,000 on the federal side. It's the state that's getting $60,000 on the federal side, at least, all right, from your social security number. So what's happening is, and what you got to understand is that you are not, you're working, but the money's already been paid. All right. So what happens is your company, they're going to say, yes, I paid this person $60,000 this year. And then the state or the federal is going to give them a tax credit. Where do you think that tax credit coming from? Your account. Meanwhile, they're giving them a piece of the action, and then the state is keeping their piece and the federal is keeping their piece. All right. But all of it came from your estate. Meanwhile, you're working your butt off for this $60,000 and everybody's getting paid but you. Okay, don't be upset. I'm just telling you what's going on. All right. So when you file your taxes, they've told you, well, we're going to give you a little piece off of it because you've been paying federal and state taxes. And in most cases, state is going to take, you know, they're going to want a large piece and you're going to have to pay them in a lot of cases. Okay. So what happened is there's a 1099 ABC. One of them is for acquisition. C is to cancel the debt, whatever debt that somebody is saying that you owe them. All right. Now, you can use those. We use those for cancellation of debt. There's another OID. That is when you're saying, hey, I want all my money back, because by law, you're supposed to get all of your money back dollar for dollar, all of it. So you can use that OID in order to do that. I'm not going over writing the OID and all that. I'm telling you what it's for. Original issue discount. All right. And that is basically where you're able to go in and, again, get all of your funds back from that company. That's the OID. Now, We don't get into that until you are in the school and you have shown that you're mature enough to stand if these people come at you. Because some of y'all have heard, oh, well, you know, I was watching this YouTube and this TikTok, and these people went to jail. They went to prison because they was using the OID. All right, I need y'all to understand something. As I helped a client, not a student. Again, this is why another reason why I don't deal with clients. And she got a whole lot of money back. Now, she got money back and a student got money back at the same time. Now, my student is knowledgeable about self. My student knows who they are. My student is confident. My student knows, hey, this is my money, and anybody who's coming after me, they can't be federal. My student knows that. The student comes to class. Now, let me make this clear. I told my client, I need you to come to class, but my client was refusing to come to class with all these excuses about, well, you know, see, I just don't know. Okay. So my client gets a whole bunch of money back, and my client is going crazy. Well, what we gonna do, Diva? What if they come? What if they say they want the money back? Listen, I want the money back. They didn't give it to you in the first place. It's your money. But if you was in class, you would know that. If you were in class, you would know that. Well, what we's gonna do with Diva? First of all, if you're not my student, I'm not standing up for you. I told you to come to class. And since you decided not to come to class, well, you're on your own. You're sitting here with all this money in your bank account, and you're too scared to use it. You're too scared to do anything because you don't know who you are. Tell you what, give me my money. I'm going to get out of here because I don't have time. Here's my thing. You cannot. Where's my chart? Where's my chart? Hold on for a second. Okay. Where's my chart? Here it is. She operating down here. Where is it? Fear. She down here in the orange. Fear. Not the orange. No, the orange. She's operating in fear. She's not even in her right mind. She's sitting over here with a bank account full of money and afraid to do anything with it because you're operating in the wrong energy. The problem is you. And so for me, if you're not coming to class and understanding the spiritual side of this game, we can't even do business because I don't operate with people I don't do business with people who operate in that kind of energy. And if you're not willing to change your mindset and come out of it, then we can't even do business. Ephraim. Hello, Ephraim. Thank you for the love. Lamoris. El Cristo, welcome. Okay. So let me get into this thing. We're dealing with changing our mindset right now. Changing your mindset. When you're coming into the university and you're coming into knowledge of this information. Hello, Coach. Thank you for the love. All right, when you're coming into this information, Coach is hooking me up with all the love. All right, the biggest thing is changing your mindset. You got to be willing to change how you look at things. So let's talk about why we're getting into this, because I spoke about how when you're willing to give with love, the universe doesn't care who you're giving it to or why. But what you've got to start doing now is looking at things from a different way. Yes, you can pay off all of these things with a financial instrument, but you got to remember, if you're not putting out, then you're not getting back. If you're not putting out, then you're not getting back. And I told you about these two people who I know, they know these codes, statutes, and ordinance just as well as I do, if not better. And they try to use them from time to time. But they stay broke because they're so dependent on, oh, I'm here to get this because I already got a trust, that they're working from a stance of scarcity as opposed to giving and abundance. So how does this work? Let's talk about how this works. Now, from a universal standpoint, we've already talked about when you give, you receive. If you want it, you must give it away. If you want it, you must give it away. If you want love, if you want money, if you want cars, if you want these other things, give it away. And by law, the universe must return it to you, as long as you're giving it out with love. Now, for those of you all, once again, who have your Bibles, you'll hear it tenfold. Tenfold. It could be more than that, depending on your energy when you give, but tenfold. Now, I need to talk about from the legal side. From the legal side, we know, those of us who've studied, there is no money. There is no money. So legally, we're not supposed to be paying anything. But also legally, if we do put out a Federal Reserve note, we're supposed to get them back dollar for dollar. Dollar for dollar, meaning everything you put out is supposed to come back to you legally. Now it's coming back to you spiritually if you put it out with love, but legally, dollar for dollar. Well, for us, we can do it 2 times the dollar at least. You heard people say that legally they can do it 10 times, because really, whenever you create a trust or any kind of financial instrument, that thing is valued at $5 million. $5 million. You know how you go and you sign your receipts when you paying a credit card, and you have to sign that little receipt that they're giving you? That thing is way more valuable than the amount of money on that ticket. It's way more valuable. So here's my point, and I want you to understand this. Every time you sign your name, or every time you make a purchase, there's money coming from your estate, and you can request that as well. And you'll hear people say 10 times, all right, and more. But I'm letting you know that for us, we only do what we can show proof of. So let's just say right now, we can show proof of 2 times for each dollar. Some of you all have heard about the W-9 form. So pay attention to what I'm saying, because now I'm getting into the legal side. I'm giving you some little information tidbits, and you can take it and use it. And when you're doing your studying, it can enhance what you're doing already. All right. So this is why I'm saying to you to think differently when you put money out. Don't think of it as, darn, I got to pay for this and I got to pay for that. No, show gratitude when you put it out. This is why. With that W-9, if you're paying somebody more than $400, by law, they have to give you an EIN number. By law. So what happens is, when you do anything with them and it costs $400 or more, they have to give you an EIN, because once again, you're supposed to get that money back dollar for dollar. Now, when you're using your credit or debit card, that's showing proof of the fact that there was a transaction. And y'all need to start understanding all those transaction numbers. Those are financial instruments. All those transaction numbers are financial instruments. And when that thing goes through your bank, you're going to have one transaction number for this bank, and you're going to have another transaction number from the company where you purchased it. So watch this now. If I paid this company $400 throughout the year or one time, it doesn't matter. But if I paid them $400 or more, I'm going to get a transaction number from the bank. That's one financial instrument. And I'm going to get a transaction number from that organization or corporation. That's another financial instrument. That's 400 here and 400 here. And I'm claiming both of them. That's $800. Anybody paying attention to what I'm saying? Can anybody hear me? Is this thing on? I just said I'm getting 400 here from the bank statement or the bank transaction, and I'm getting another 400 here from what I paid to this corporation. I'm claiming both of them. So instead of getting $400 back, I'm getting $800 back. That's an investment where I just doubled my money in a year. You can't get that with the best IUD programs. Some of all these little programs out here that tell you you can get 6% interest on your. I just told you about 200% interest. I just told you about 200% interest. So why do you want to go after the more expensive thing over here that, well, I could have got the $200 one. Because remember I told you about the W-9? If it's $400 or more, then you get an EIN. But if you cheat and you get the little 200, well, you're gonna get 100% return. But if that thing costs $400 or more, why get 200? So here, if I'm just cheap and I'm like, I don't get $200, I don't get the cheap one, give me that $200. Well, then I'm just gonna get $200 back. That's cool. That's 100% return. But if I'm just like, well, let me double that, and I get the 400 or even the more expensive one, the more expensive it is. Now I go from 1% return or 100% return to 200% return because I changed my mindset, and I'm grateful. When I paid it out, when I paid this $600 out to this company, I'm just grateful that I have the resources to be able to do it. Thank you, universe. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to invest. I got you. You have a different mindset. And then when I decide to go after, anything else dealing with the estate, because I put out money, the universe is going to return money to me. But if I've been, I ain't going, because they going to pay for everything and they going to just take for everything. And then I get everything. I get the house. I get the whatever. But I don't have any money to pay for food. I don't have money to pay for gas because I have been scarce and living in scarcity. Well, when you live like that, then the universe is going to return scarcity to you. Money is not going to find you when you operate in that type of energy. All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments on either the spiritual or the legal side? Again, man can't give you anything. Everything you get is coming from the universe, even when it seems like, well, you know what? Oh, my auntie called me. She just gave me $100. That came because of you. Because of your energies. Your auntie didn't just pop up and say, I'm going to give my nephew or niece. No, it's because you put out some energy somewhere else. So if you want to continue that kind of thing coming, then be willing to give. Because when you give, the universe by law is going to return it. Everything is a seed. This is a magical spiritual place. And the only way that you can really experience the full amount of what the universe has for you is if you're learning how to operate under the universal laws. You got to know these laws. Somebody asked, how do we see the Akashic records? Right here. This how because I know these laws, I know what's going on in your third dimension. I know what happened in your past. I know what's about to happen in your future because I understand the laws. I told y'all, I will tell you I'm an oracle, but it's mainly because of this. Because I see and I don't have cognitive dissonance. Do we need to be under trust to use the W-9? You don't have to be under trust to use it, but you've got to know how to stand. Because if you're coming to them like a debtor and you don't understand that you're coming to them like a debtor, then whatever you try to do is not going to work for you. But anytime you all are doing a process, or anybody, before anybody does a process, I need them to be under trust, and I need them to be in the class. And if you're in the university, once again, I'll say this, we are going to actually instruct you and guide you as you walk through your process. We're going to give you assistance so that you're not just walking by yourself. We want to make sure that you're doing the process properly. If something comes up, whether it be they ignore you or whether it be they're actually coming after you, which is a good thing. If they're coming after you, it means you did something right. But you got to know how to stand. Yes, the trust protects you, but only if you know how to stand on it. Because I've had people with the trust, and as a matter of fact, you'll see people in court with the trust, and they don't even understand. If you're in court, you don't know how to use your trust. If you let them take you into court, you have no clue about how to use your trust. You don't know who you are. So it can only protect you if you understand it. You understand this game and who you are, because otherwise you're going to allow them to put you in a contract. So if you're in court, what it's saying is, or that whole situation is telling me, is that you have allowed them to put you under a contract. You have allowed them to bring you under their jurisdiction. And that means to me that you don't know how to use your trust. All right. I want y'all to ask me some questions. I'm going to answer. YouTube is glitching like crazy over here. I'm going to answer this question coming from the last shall be first. Do you think that the women will rise again? And as I said, there is this circle, this cycle that's going on. And yes, the women are rising again. Melanated people are rising again. And again, that this is not to put down anybody else, because our Albion people, listen, some of the people who have been the best to me are people who didn't look like me at all. I told you I went to Argentina, and you talking about people treating me like family and showing me love. All of these were light-skinned people, because melanated people make up less than 1% of the population there. All the people I dealt with, they were Albion, and they showed me so much love. So I just need to make that clear, that as long as your energies are right, then everything is going to be to your favor. All right. The universe is not going to deny you. I need to say this because that reminds me of, you hear people talk about, oh, well, the currency, they changing the currency to do this, and then they changing the currency, and then it's going to be one world, the government, and then they trying to, the cryptocurrency. Let me make this clear. I need y'all to be clear on this. As I said, man can't give you nothing. Man can't take anything away. My students know full well that it doesn't matter what kind of currency they come up with next, they are going to be perfectly great, because they're spiritually intact. So first of all, when it's about, gold and silver is the real money. No, it's not. No, it's not. So you let people tell you that. You need to understand listen, you know what the real money is? The word. I mean, really, it's you. Everything is money. Everything, because money is only energy. That's all it is. It's currency. But the word is where the real money is. And I'm going to say this because I think I said this last time, but I'll say it again. For those of you all who don't understand or who don't believe what I'm saying, your mortgage, for example, you go and let's say you got a $200,000 home and you get this mortgage on your home. Now, by the time you finish paying off that $200,000 mortgage, you will have paid the bank close to $400,000. You will have paid the bank close to $400,000. So right there, you got a contract and you got your home on this side. The home is worth $200,000. The mortgage, this thing is really close to $400,000. This is paper. This is the words. The words are worth more than your house. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Meanwhile, this document gets traded on the stock market for millions. Millions. If your house appreciates, let's say 5 years, over a 5-year period, your $200,000 house might appreciate by what, 150,000, if that. Let's just pretend like it went up to what? Let's just say it went up to $250,000 in appreciation after 5 years. This contract sold for millions. These are just words. So don't tell me about how this house is so valuable when this contract has been, you're going to pay $400,000 by the time you finish paying for it. And on top of that, it's being sold on the stock market for millions, not to mention that it's worth millions on the federal side. Remember, you had to put a social security number down for this thing. The money is in the word. When you learn how to write contracts, that's where the money comes in. All right. Rare Breed says you're not supposed to appear. All right. When you have a court case, all right, if somebody sends you a notice to sue you, you need to respond. And so your response would be, I'm not under your authority nor jurisdiction. Take a look at this declaration in UCC on record with such and such county. You see that UCC and you see the millions on that UCC. If you want to do business with me, you need to pay me first and then we can talk. But until then, if you don't pay me my millions, don't send me another notice because this is going to be harassment and you need to see my fee schedule. For every time you send me another notice after I told you not to send me a notice, well, then you're going to need to pay that too. And then I'm going to have you in court. How about that? So you don't just not respond. You respond and you make it clear. I'm not under your jurisdiction. So don't send me another notice or there's going to be some problems. Because you sending me this notice, this is my all capital letter corporation. You're a copyright infringement. I didn't give you permission to put my all capital letter corporation name on any kind of financial document. And so since you're going to do that, you need to understand that you are infringing upon my rights. This is copyright infringement. That's $50,000. Send me another notice if you feel like you're bad enough. That's what you do. All right. Do I have any other questions or comments? I want you to ask me questions. Let me see if I missed any questions here. I want to thank all y'all for joining. Red Breed, thank you for that wonderful question. They called me Queen. Halo. D. Russell. And very good questions. I appreciate that. Miss Serena, welcome. Ask me any other questions you all have before I get out of here. Lamora says they give you your own money. Yes, they do. Straight shooter said, damn straight. Damn straight. All right. And thank you for the questions about the Akashic records. No one knows better. Welcome, Charles. Welcome, Indigo. Love you. All right, Teresa. How much is your class? Came in late. Hello, Teresa. The classes are. Where's mine? I'm gonna try to find mine. Once again, we start up for winter season in February 15th. The classes are $444 per month. All right. Now I need y'all to know our classes are valued at $5,000, but the only thing you need to be paying is $444 per month. If you're interested, find the link in the bio so that we can get you enrolled and make sure that we get you off on the right foot, on the good foot. How do you put your property under trust? Yeah, we go through that. How you put your property under trust. We actually do have a mortgage elimination class, but you have to be a part of the university in order to get access to that. So yeah, we do go through mortgage elimination, put it where we put the house under trust. We help you to understand how to put people on notice so they're not sending you bills talking about taxes. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot to it. You got to know how to stand. And there are some things that you have to do in order to be able to get your house under trust. But we go through that whole process with our mortgage elimination students. All right. Thank you for that question, Eddie. Desert Russell says, my house. What about your house? What about your house? Wait a minute. What just happened? Hold on. All right, we're back. Okay. Do I have any other questions? Do I have any other questions? I want y'all to know I really do appreciate you all. We've had a few technical issues, still having a few of them on Facebook or YouTube, rather YouTube. And we're going to try to get this thing ironed out. But I thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for your comments on our segments that we do put up on our shorts. So thank you so much for that. And then if you have questions, please let us know. We encourage you to become a member. We've gotten some membership packages in here so that everybody can start acclimating themselves to where at least the spiritual side, okay? To at least the spiritual side. So let me go through them real quick. Our Awaken program, we're going to send you notices one day out of the week, right? To make sure we're staying good on our affirmations and the things that we're supposed to be saying to ourselves, because we need to start saying kind things to ourselves. If you're not saying kind things to yourself, you got to check that. We help you check that right here with the Awaken membership. It's only $10 a month. And also it's going to allow you a discount on your consultations. Then we have the Transcendence. This is for students who are trying to prepare themselves to go into school. Because I've had some people, they'll tell me, Diva, you know, I'm a student, whether you know it or not. I might not be in the class yet, but I'm a student. So this will help you get to that point. All right. So we're going to send you 2 days out of the week. We're going to send you the notices, a text and an email. Once again, so we can stay up on the positive things and our affirmations that we need to say to ourselves. And it's going to be personalized. For this program, we're personalizing it. I'm saying your name, saying your name. And also, it's going to give you a discount on your consultations, and you're going to have access to one of our sessions per month, whereby you can see what we do in private or hear what we speak about, because you'll be able to go over some things in the private that everybody doesn't get in the public. Okay, so that's for that class. And then we have the luminosity program. All right, you're going to get a whole lot, all of that came with the transcendent package, but you're also going to get the 2 weekly Zoom classes. So we want you in class with us on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay, and what's going to happen is you're going to have access to the law library. You're going to have access to our archives. You're going to be able to communicate with myself and my staff. You're going to be able to participate in special programs like our mortgage elimination, tax prep and filing, card tag, trust. And this is that tag where, you know, the cops won't even touch you. They won't even talk to you because you have that tag on you. And credit repair. Also, you're going to get legal assistance. Again, we don't do that for anybody but students. You got to be a student in order to get legal assistance. We'll give you legal information, but where we help you and walk you through it step by step, you get that when you're a student. Okay. So now, does anybody have any other questions before I get out of here? I want y'all to know I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you. Please, if you have any questions, and you want to join the university, put your name, number, and email in the inbox. Name, number, email in the inbox. We're going to make sure we send you an invite to our workshop. Okay, put your name, number, and email in the inbox. We're going to send you an invitation to our workshop. If you're on YouTube, we want you to go ahead and send us a message at UNA University. Go to UNAuniversity.com, leave us a message there. You'll find the email address, and then let's go. I want you to know I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. We're going to see you guys next time, maybe Friday. Okay. Diva Lyri, I'm out. But UNA University, UNARepublic, I love you. Give me a hug. I'm out. Bye-bye.